All right, ladies and gentlemen, my name is John Wormling. I'm the Director of Development over at Carolina Core FC, new men's pro soccer team. Just wanted to sit down, kind of have a little bit of a chat and just kind of inform the community on kind of who we are, what we're looking to do in the future, and got some gentlemen here to my right. I'll kind of let them introduce themselves as well and kind of explain a little bit about what they do. Eddie, I'll start with you.
Yeah, my name is Eddie Pope. I am the Chief Sporting Officer for Carolina Core FC.
Andy Williams here, head scout for the first team and the academy teams that will be coming up next year.
Well, Eddie, I'll start with you. Do you want to kind of just go ahead and give us a little bit of a overview about Carolina Core and who we are and what we're looking to do?
We are an MLS NEXT Pro team. We are sort of a supplemental league for MLS. For Carolina Core FC, recruit and scout players from all over the core, all over the United States and the rest of the world. And that's why we have this scout right here to help us out. So yeah, our goal for us is really developmental. We love to bring in players, make them better, and then push them upwards to MLS.
Awesome. So Andy, talk a little bit about kind of your role and a little bit of the scouting that you've done or that you look to do in the future here. I know Eddie kind of mentioned that we're going to be scouting the core, but it sounds like we're going to reach a broader audience than that.
We're looking for local players, but also all players throughout the United States. So, youth players from 16 years old all the way up to 25, 28.
Awesome. Eddie, you kind of touched on it a little earlier. You mentioned, MLS NEXT Pro. For those, who might not be familiar with it, do you maybe want to elaborate on that a little bit?
I know for a lot of moms and dads out there who have kids who are playing youth soccer, their kids may be involved at the MLS NEXT level. The MLS NEXT level is the youth side, and that MLS NEXT level feeds into MLS NEXT Pro, which you then become a professional player, and then MLS NEXT Pro feeds up to Major League Soccer. So that's sort of the quote-unquote pyramid of how it works. And for us, we will have an MLS NEXT youth side coming online in 2024. We will start off with U13s and U14s. So we will scour the core and maybe even beyond to bring in some of those kids. And the goal is to develop them and help them move upwards to 15s and 16s and 17s and so forth and so on until they're ready to become professionals. And so for our current players who are on our MLS NEXT Pro squad, again, the goal is to develop those players and to have them hopefully move up to Major League Soccer or beyond. They can go to Europe, South America, Central America.
Great. Now, Andy, you're obviously a key member of the technical staff. Do you want to kind of talk about some of the other, pieces to that puzzle that we've got on staff?
Start with our head coach, Roy Lassiter, MLS, leading goal scorer a couple of years in the league, U.S. national team player. We've also added Amada Guevara, Honduras national team player, MLS MVP, both been all-stars. We also just recently added Donovan Ricketts, Jamaican international like myself, MLS All-Star, Goalkeeper of the Year awards, a number of accolades for technical staff. And I think right now I put our staff up against any MLS coaching staff.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the best staffs. Thanks to Eddie for creating that. And I think it's going to show on the field with the players that we have.
So, Eddie, do you want to kind of touch on, for those that might not be aware of, who are the teams in our league and who we're going to be playing, kind of where are they?
Carolina Core FC, we are an independent MLS NEXT Pro team.
Okay.
So basically what that means is that we aren't affiliated with any Major League Soccer club. So the teams that we'll play will be Major League Soccer clubs. So we'll play their version of MLS NEXT Pro team. So that is everyone from Charlotte to Atlanta United to LAFC, all the teams in MLS, which I think will be super exciting for our players because a lot of them who are coming to us haven't done that yet, haven't done that before. And I think will also be exciting because MLS teams, they will send down players from their first teams to play in these MLS NEXT Pro games. Just in this stadium, there will be times where there will be MLS players playing there.
Yeah.
And our players will need to be able to compete with them. And then we will also play other independent MLS NEXT Pro teams. And right now there's only one more in Chattanooga. And I think over the next 2, 3, 4 years, the league will continue to add more and more independent clubs.
Yeah. So kind of going on that with it being independent, Andy, does that, kind of give you a little bit more freedom in the scouting world to kind of, pick players that, the guys are looking for?
Absolutely. It gives a player a window for not just a parent club above them as their only shot to get to MLS. Playing with us, you will have players have a pick of any MLS team they want. A number of other MLS teams can look at our team and, potentially loan players buy players eventually. So it gives them a more, a bigger window for us to shop our players. And not only MLS, it's the same thing for European teams. Like Eddie said, our goal is to get these players that are hungry to the next level. Have them for 2-3 years.
Yeah.
Increase their value, increase their playing style, their experience of being a professional, and then everybody wants to play in Europe, Champions League,
Sure.
all of that stuff. So that's our job here to help these players get to their goal.
I think we've done a good job of kind of talking about where we're going to be playing, when we're going to be playing, who we're going to be playing. Is there anything else that you guys think fans should know or something to be excited about?
Whether it's a local player or beyond, I do think that being an independent team, it allows us, again, we have the goal of trying to develop players and move them on. So what that means is that we'll have some turnover.
Yeah.
And so if you're a player you tried out, or you're an up-and-coming player, you didn't quite make it the first time, there will be other opportunities. For me, it's always like, you just kind of have to keep grinding and keep working and keep playing, and maybe it's a year from now, maybe it's 2 years from now, who knows? It's not the end of the world if you've come out and you've tried out for the team and it didn't go the way that you wanted it to go. You just kind of have to keep grinding, and that's what we had to do. You hear a million different stories, right, where someone, they didn't make it the first time, they didn't make it the second time. But I think for the players in our area, they have to recognize there's a lot of talent.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that we found. There is a lot of talent in the core and beyond, but and just to kind of hang in there and give it another try.